Hello, it is Japan, and this is another prediction video. If you want to, yeah, prediction video. Why did I hesitated that for Crown Jewel this weekend? Um, Obviously, this event looks like it's stacked. It's just absolutely. I feel like a lot of stuff is going to happen in this event. I say that, but I'll probably be wrong in half of this stuff, and anything that I'm gonna vaguely predict like that's extra probably won't actually happen, but we'll see. There's actually a kickoff show match, which will be Sami Zayn versus JD. I feel like that's kind of going to be a Sami win. I think it's going to be pretty easy. Um, I just don't think it's going to be that crazy. I don't think they're going to have anything too crazy happen with it. So I think Sami is going to win that one pretty easily. Um, it could really be a wild card match because it's like in the kickoff, so I don't think it's going to have any future ramifications. But we shall see. And I think the first actual match is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. And on paper, it feels so weird to have this match when it should just be like a tag match. So I have a feeling they're setting up, at least in my eyes, that Damian Priest is going to cash in tonight, like that night. I feel like that is what's going to happen. It's just they're setting it up so much so that I don't see why he wouldn't cash in. It's just, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Drew winning the championship, or is it going to be a triple threat? I just don't know. I really, that's the wild card in it. I do believe that he's going to cash in. I hope it's on Seth Rollins and that ends it, but man, that's going to be a rough go of it if they don't do that. But in that match, I would assume that Damian Priest is going to win if he's going to cash in later that night because of some Judgment Day shenanigans that they end up winning it. A lot of people think it's like, oh, Cody's not going to lose the back-to-back like big events, but it's like, I feel like it makes no sense to have Damian Priest win or lose and then cash in later that night. I don't know, unless he's like super frustrated and just does it. But I'm going to go with Damian Priest. I think that match could really go either way. I don't think it has that much ramifications in the story as much, just more of the, what we're going to see later on in the night. Next up, we have the United States Championship, which is Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. I don't see a world where Logan Paul doesn't win this one. He is the perfect choice for having this title because you can put so much relevancy on it and tote it around to like all the podcasts and all the shows, and he will have that across his belt or across his arm, and it will look good, and it will make, I think, that U.S. Championship like way more sought after than what Rey Mysterio is going to do with it, because there's not really much that it's going to do. I think, like, for story purposes, if they weren't going to have Santos Escobar take it off of him when they did and have that match, there's really no point. Like, that was the ultimate time if they were going to give it to Santos. So, like, having it later on doesn't really make sense. And the next logical thing would maybe be Carlito taking it off of him when, like, he tries to take control of the whole LWO. But I feel like that whole storyline hasn't really came to, anything, they haven't really, done much with the LWO altogether. So, like, I feel like this would be a great opportunity to do this, and Logan Paul wins. Obviously, Logan Paul will win with some shenanigans. I'm either believing that it's going to be, I almost want to say Dom's going to help him out, because they had the whole promo with Dom coming down there. I think that could put a big thorn in, that side, and then it could maybe even ramp up another rivalry with Dom and his dad that we could see like a round 2 of that. So if that's the case, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Logan winning. I believe Logan's going to win, and I guess we'll see. Next up is the WWE Women's Championship with Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. I love that both women titles are up on this card getting defended. It's been a while since we've had both in the same pay-per-view, and I'm happy about that. I love Io Sky, and I just want her to hold on to this championship, but I think her days keep getting more and more numbered, and this might be the opportunity that they want to flip it. Now, story-wise, this is how I feel like it's going to play out. Io is going to try to cheat to keep onto the title, have Bayley do something, but Bayley will cost her the title, putting into a bigger opportunity for Io and Bayley to have a rivalry. that's kind of how I want them to do it. It might not be this pay-per-view if she does retain, but I feel like that's kind of the thing that they want to go at some point. So it might be a little too early for that, but I guess we'll see. So I'm going to go with Bianca. I feel like this is her time that she's going to take it and start a rivalry with either Jade Cargill or Charlotte Flair, but I think this is where she takes it. Unfortunately, me personally, I want Io Sky to win, and I'm going to be rooting for Io Sky, but I feel like Bianca wins here, and it flips. So I guess we'll see. Next up is John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. The whole thing about, Cena not winning for 2,000 days and all of that, I feel like if Cena beats Solo, I think it still puts both of them real over. I mean, obviously Cena's already over, but I still think it looks good on both of them. So I'm thinking John Cena wins here. We possibly could see some interference with Jimmy, which would be cool too. I think that could be a little, him having to fight two people. And but I think Cena beats Solo here, but in a very close match, and it takes John Cena to his limit. And Solo looks good by doing that. So that's why I feel that match is going to be. I think it's more of a lock to me. I feel like that Cena wins, but I honestly, if somebody could probably talk me out of it, to be honest. Next up is a Women's World Championship with Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, and Zoe Stark. Now, this match on paper really is. I think it's going to be a great match. But I feel like none of the other four competitors really have shown that they're championship material. Like Zoe Stark is amazing, and I think like a year or two from now, she should definitely be in that thing. She's still got to get her promos up, and I feel like when she does that, she's going to be in a good spot. And I think she's in this match because of all the work she did with Trish Stratus. This is like her reward to get like a big major premium live event, and I think that's what, at least this is how it feels. And then Raquel, who's had some really good matches with Rhea, I feel like she's just kind of like they're still holding on to her doing amazing with those matches, that she's getting that second opportunity here. I got a little bit of hiccups. Obviously, same thing with Shayna with having sending off Ronda Rousey. Like, she did a good job with that, even though the match was really terrible, but she did a good job with it, so I think they're doing that. And then obviously Nia Jax being back, it just made sense to put her into here. And then, the champion. I mean, so I feel like there's really no competition here. I feel like out of all the picks here, this is my lockdown pick, like 100%. Like, no way that Rhea loses his title. I think I'm saying that, and then there's, something will happen. But I just feel like it's just such a weird turn to turn it over right then and there. And I think like they're still wanting Judgment Day to hold on to all this gold. So why have it change at this point? There's just no point of that. So next up, we have the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Now, I think with the Money in the Bank cash-in being here, I feel like the opportune thing would be to have Rollins retain and then get cashed in on. If the cash-in is coming, this is the time to do it there. I feel like cashing in on Drew would just be really messed up. And if he cashed in, took the title off of Seth, that would further Drew's heel push, because he would be, again, taken from his moment. And, maybe not even that Seth retains, is that he just gets cashed in on in the middle of the match and makes it a triple threat match. And then Damian Priest pins Seth Rollins to get the title. So if that's the case, I'll be cool with that. So I'm assuming the match, I'm going to say, I guess Seth Rollins win. I just don't think either people keep on to the title. Like, I think Damian Priest is going to walk away with the title at the end of the night. If not, let's just say that he doesn't cash in. I think Seth beats Drew, if that's going to be the case, and then it will lead up to the next Premium Live event, which I think is Survivor Series. I could see that's when he takes it off. I feel like you got to give Drew a little bit of a build-up, not take him on that very first time, but you never know. Next up, we have the Universal title, which is Roman Reigns versus LA Knight. I don't know. Like, I really want to see LA Knight, you know, get pushed and take this title, but man, that would be a true upset to the overall story arc that I feel like that they're building with the bloodline and all that. So I just can't see Roman losing here. I feel like there's just too much story that they have left into the whole bloodline saga that if he loses the title, I think it kind of just makes everything obsolete. You know, like I think that just kind of cheapens the rest of the story. So I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns winning. I could see a world where they let LA Knight win, but I just don't see it. I just don't see that this is what they're gonna go with. If all the other story that they've been building on, like I think that would just throw it all out the window. I mean, unless there's some stuff that we don't know about with Roman, wanting to step away for further more time. But I don't know. That's what my predictions are. Tell me if you guys agree. I feel like this one's a little bit of a tricky one. I think like a lot of stuff could happen. It's kind of like a major turning point for a lot of stories. And yeah, I mean, my only 100% lock I feel like is Rhea Ripley winning. I feel like that's the one that I can lock down. Some the other pay-per-views or premium live events, I've been able to lock in a few, I feel. But I feel like that is the one to lock in. So I guess we'll see. Make sure you turn in Saturday at 1 o'clock. I think it's 1 o'clock CST, at least for me, to watch. And yeah, tell me what you think about what your predictions are. Until next time, this is Japan. Bye, guys.